Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome for the very first time. We have done some interviews on this channel. I know that I promised y'all that once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do an interview every Saturday. And yes, we've hit 1,000 subscribers, but I was just telling Halima, I'm struggling with posting, interviewing, just recording these days. I don't know if it's the season, I don't know if it's the fall or just we're so close to the end of the year. So me and Halima just met up not too long ago, and I asked her to hop on and just kind of have a girl chat, just kind of have some ideas exchanged back and forth about how we can finish this year off strong, because um, Halima is a friend of mine, and she has an amazing show on her channel called Catching Up with Halima. And I was just watching a few episodes just this week. And I love the back and forth and the honest conversations. And I've gained so much from it. And I know, like, when this year began, I saw on your channel you're posting some of the TikToks from the pandemic, and I was like, she wants to start off this year strong. So you could kind of just tell us how's this year been for you, Halima? Like, how has it been for you, and how do you want to finish it? How do you want to finish 2025?
Well, thanks for having me and mentioning my channel. Yeah, the reason I started putting my TikTok content on YouTube is because, the US Congress passed a law that they were going to ban TikTok in America. So I was like, well, I mean, I don't post a lot, but I loved some of the dances that I did. It was like 2 years ago, and I still like watching them. Yeah, so I was like, oh man, I don't want to lose this content, but I don't care if TikTok goes away because it's been a couple of years since I've been active on there. But then I was moving it and I was still getting views on YouTube, so it's like, oh, this is cool. And
You
actually,
got a lot of comments and views, girl. Like, I thought you were gonna come back, like
I
come back
was,
this year.
I was. My plan was to start dancing and putting it directly on YouTube, and then I would think of something, and I would even like dance. My friend was staying with me. She's from Romania, and I put on this song, "You Say" by Lauren Dangle, and I was dancing to it, and she was like, "You should like dance and put this on." But my problem is every time I'm dancing in my room, I'm usually like half dressed. I'm like, I can't put this online. I like to dance in the shower. Apparently, that's not appropriate for the internet. Just kidding. I like to sing in the shower, I should say.
You great dances on YouTube during the pandemic. I mean, on TikTok during the pandemic, they were very
Yeah.
well liked and received.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just I still like dance, but usually I'm like, oh, I don't want to put on makeup, or oh, I don't want to get dressed, and it just seems like too much. But yeah, posting does feel like you have an idea and you want to do it, and then you're like, well, do I really want to
Right.
go through all the things? But I was excited, like even to do this today. I haven't worn makeup, I think, since January.
No way.
So you were talking about, yeah, I started putting up those videos. I went to the Sundance Film Festival, January like 29th, and it's in Utah. And I flew to Salt Lake City. A friend from New York, she met me there. And I actually, like, I had a knee injury and I had a cane I was using, but I was just determined. I was like, I want to go. I already have my tickets. But I had January 1st of this year, I fell in my apartment and hurt my knee literally January 1st. So I was like, yay, 2025, starting off with an injury. But anyways, I went anyway. I was riding the bus. It was ice. I was walking so slow. And my friend was walking really fast in front of me. But every time she got to a bus that we needed to take, she would be like, oh, my friend's coming. And she had these guys, whoever she saw, she's like, could you get up? My friend needs to sit down. And everybody was so nice. It was amazing. My bag started rolling on the bus, and this guy just put his foot out to stop it from rolling away. And it was funny because he didn't say anything to me. He didn't make eye contact. He just put his foot out and stopped it from rolling. And I was like a true hero. No cape, no words. And
Wow.
yeah, so we did a lot of that because we were not staying in the actual festival is in Park City, but we were staying kind of in Salt Lake City, and it was kind of like a 50-minute bus ride, but it's beautiful there. If you haven't been, it looks like a Hallmark movie. Like everywhere you turn looks like Christmas. It's just, yeah,
Wow.
it was amazing. I loved it. Have you ever been?
I've been to Zion National Park
Where's that? In Salt Lake?
in Utah.
Is it in Salt Lake or another part of Utah?
I believe it's in another part.
Okay.
I don't know how, like the proximity, how close it is, but
I would love. I When I was there, I was like, man, I think this is a place I could live. Like it's just so. You feel like you're just. It's so peaceful. Very calm.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well, your year started off with a bang.
Yeah. More ways than one.
So how would you say the year has been overall, and how would you like for it to finish? As far as catching up with Halima, like, are we gonna see an episode before the year ends?
I don't know. Maybe you'll come on there. We'll do like
Mm,
a
yeah,
duel.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's lock something in before the year ends.
Yeah, I like since January I went there and I haven't done much, but when I think about the year as in this time a year ago, I did so many things in 2024. It was wild. I went to South by Southwest in Austin. I went to the Cannes Film Festival in France. I went to Canada to the Oscars Film Festival. It's a Muslim film festival in our Alberta, Calgary, which is happening this weekend right now. It's annual. It's in their 17th year. It was phenomenal. Like just a theater full of Muslim people watching short films and everything. Then I went to another Pakistani film festival in Houston. Oh, I did that this year. Okay, I have done something since January. That was in April. Okay. I am like, yeah, just, yeah, okay. So I wore makeup in April.
Okay, okay, I see you.
And
You've
I
been
put it
busy,
on today.
girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, sometimes I have auditions. Yeah, so for people who don't know, I'm an actress and a writer and an attorney. So,
Awesome, awesome. We didn't do a proper intro. I was just like, this is my friend, and I am struggling with, the motivation right now
yeah.
to continue to post. I don't know if you noticed, but we hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel this year. It was a lot of hard work. We were doing a lot of uploads, a lot of shorts, and now, Kalima, I kind of want you to kind of give me some guidance and some inspiration. Like, now that we hit 1,000, what's next? What should be our next goal?
Traveling.
I
When
love it. Love it.
Yeah, I did also post some shorts. So in 2023, I went to Australia, and then
Correct. I remember that.
when I was coming back, I stopped in Hawaii, and so
I
I
love it. I love it.
videos of that. Yeah, what I can say about going to France and Canada and Australia. First of all, people in Australia were so nice. Everybody was like,
Wow.
they're like, "You're American," and I was just like, "Wow, it's weird to just be treated like American and not like black, African American." There was no like distinction. It's just like, "Oh, you're from America." And people were so excited about my accent, which I was just like, "What?" Um, so that was exciting. And then France, French people don't love English. So I was trying to speak English to people for whatever reason. I don't know any French. I just like, hey, I'm an American. Speak English. So that wasn't great. I got off the plane. I was trying to find a bus and I couldn't. I kept running into people who, like, there was an Arab guy trying to explain to me how to get to the bus. And I'm like, do you speak English? No. Okay. So it was just a lot of that. And then I thought, so when I went to Australia, I used my Capital One credit card for everything. Like you didn't need cash. And the exchange rate was great. So I would pay like say $25 for something, and it would be $20 in American. But when I went to France, I got on the bus, and the guy's like, "No English," and he's like really rude. And somehow I surmised that it was like 2 francs or euros, 250 basically for the trip to get to Cannes, which is the city and where the film festival is. But I didn't have any cash, and I'm like showing him my credit card now. So I get off the bus and I find a couple. I mean, I see some people, and they're like Far East Asian. So I'm like, yes, they'll speak English. I just assumed they weren't native French people. Anyway, so I'm speaking to them, and they were like, "Oh, how much do you need?" And I said, "I think it's like 250." She takes $5 out of her purse, and I was like, "I'm just trying to like find a bank or an ATM." And she's like, "No, take this." And she said, "If it's more than that, like signal me from the bus, and I'll come and give you more money." Yes. Mashallah. And
Mashallah.
so I was just like, wow, people are like, when I was like, oh, so like, because first I'm seeing this really rude first driver, and then these people who just give me money, and I never see them again. So then when I got off the bus, it wasn't anywhere near my Airbnb, so I had to walk. I was like walking over a mile, and it was hot, and I had a suitcase, and I still had a knee injury, and I was like, I need some water, or I'm like this is how people, kill over from a heat stroke. So I stopped at one of those places, and I was like, "Oh, do you take credit cards?" No, if it's under a certain amount. And then I looked, and the water was 250, and she was like, "You know what? You can just have it." And I was like, "No, I have the money the people gave me. They gave me $5. I spent 250 on the bus, and then I gave her the other 250 for the water."
Mashallah.
Yeah. And then I made it up the hill to my Airbnb. But anyway, it was just crazy. And when I think about it, I'm like, why do I do these things? Like, but it's the thing I will say, like when I was in Australia and there, I never felt unsafe. Like in Australia, I was walking around at night. In America, I'm all like paranoid. Oh, it's 6 o'clock, the sun went down. Let me get home. You know me? It's like I
Yeah.
never go out. Australia, it just feels so like cool, like nobody's gonna hurt you, you're fine. I went to this event there, and they barely had any security. I went to the airport, and I walked in. I did not go through security. They only had security when you're going right to the plane, but I was around the entire airport. I went to eat without going through security. I was like, this feels unsafe. I was like, wow, people don't have all the gun problems we have. Yeah, so it's like being on a different planet. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was in France, I ate at McDonald's, but they had reusable containers for the fries and everything. Like you would give it back to them, and they didn't have trash bags for the groceries. Like I was like, oh wow, so there's not like a whole thing about recycling and waste. And I was like, we're polluting the entire planet for the rest of the world, but they're not polluting it. Like anyway, I was like, some countries really are about conserving things, but we're all on
Wow.
the same planet. So the same planet. So it's like we're hurting them no matter how much they're trying to do whatever, we're still in the same skies and all that. So yeah, I would say, whenever you're going places, do some videos and stuff there, and it's a good content. Houston, wherever, Canada. Oh, I saw you went to Niagara Falls. Is that right?
I did, and I know you did as well.
Yes. I didn't get to go to the Canadian side because the person I was staying with didn't have a passport, and I do have a passport. But she was like, "Oh, you can take my car," and I was just like, you know what? I'm not driving someone else's car into a foreign country with a Muslim
Right.
woman. It's like, I'm not trying to get stopped and have some like, "This is not your car," blah blah blah. So I didn't go, but I do want to. Did you go to the Canadian side or?
I did.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Like when you're there, the thing is, I've been to the Grand Canyon and I've been to Niagara Falls, and I feel like it's a very similar. Like the water, it's so powerful, it's so loud. You just feel like there's so much energy, and I'm like, wow, they could really power things with this water. Um, but also, it's just so much nature. And then when I was at the Grand Canyon, I was taking pictures, and then I was like, these pictures don't do it justice. Like what I'm seeing with my eyes is so beautiful, like a painting that God painted, like more beautiful than anything you can imagine. And seeing it on a picture is just like, it's just, it's not three-dimensional. And yeah, so it was incredible. But people say it's better from the Canadian side. And so I was thinking I still want to go and do that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Is there is there any goals that you'd like to accomplish before the year ends?
Yes.
I mean, I
I
kind
do, but I
of.
can't afford it. I want to get on Ozempic. I'm like
Ooh,
looking at
keep
Oprah.
it
I'm like,
real.
Oprah, first of all, Oprah, I mean, she's a billionaire, so what can we say? But some people look weird, like they lose weight and they have a very large head, or I'm not gonna name any names, but some of the famous people are like too skinny, their body doesn't look, they don't look like the same person anymore. Oprah looks like fantastic. I'm like, what did she, bless her. I mean, she just looks like she just shrunk, and her face is still good, and her body looks perfect. And the outfit she had a white shirt and black pants. I was like, okay, Oprah.
Oh, send me the pictures, girl. Send me the
I
pictures.
saw it on Entertainment Tonight. I don't even know. Who was it? The Osbourne, Kelly Osbourne. That did not work well for her. And then I heard Serena Williams did it. I'm like, wow, if an Olympian can't lose weight without these compounds, whatever, what hope is it for the rest of us? That's enormous.
Right, right.
So yeah, no, I got a prescription for something from my doctor, and CVS didn't even call me to say they had filled it, and I called them saying, "Hey, what happened?" They said it's $1,100. It's like they assumed, girl, you cannot afford this. Don't even try. Yeah, for like a Zepbound, which is supposed to be like for weight loss, not for diabetic people. And I thought it would be less than Ozempic, but no, $1,100 for the first shot, I guess. So yeah, that is what I wish. I need to hit it rich, hit it big, so I can do that.
Wow.
But yeah, aside from that, I have an exercise bike in my apartment. I've been trying to drink more water. I
Yeah,
know that's always
I have water right here.
a big. Yes, I have like a 32-ounce cup, and I'm like, let me drink 3 of these a day. And really try to. It's so important. But yeah, Oscars. I tell you, I went to that a year ago. It's happening right now. I didn't go. I'm a little worried about leaving the country with the current administration. I'll be honest. I'm a little
Okay,
afraid
okay.
about leaving. I'm a little afraid about coming back. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah. You went to Canada recently?
I went um about a year ago,
Okay.
in
So,
June,
so not
yeah.
so not since January.
Mm-mm, no.
Anyway, yeah. So a lot other people were saying the same thing to me. They were like, "Yeah, I as a U.S. citizen, I'm not sure that I want to risk leaving and not being able to come back because something goes wrong." Uh,
Right.
so I don't know about that, but I want to go back to Australia. It's expensive. Canada, maybe January. Go to Salt Lake City. Um, because the Salt Lake City, the Sundance Film Festival, they're moving it to Denver, Colorado, and this is the last year, 2026, that they'll have it in Salt Lake. So I'm
What's the
really,
criteria to join or to go? Can anybody go, or do you have to be in the industry?
I guess anybody can go. So the reason I went, there's a thing that's been happening the last few years. There's Impact, which is the Muslim Public Affairs Committee. It's based in Hollywood, and then there's a national one. That they've been doing this thing called the Muslim House. So they had it at South by Southwest. They had it at Tribeca in New York, and then they had it at the Sundance Film Festival. And what they do is they get a space, and for 2 days, they just have panel discussions, films, meet and greets. So they had it at Sundance. I didn't go to anything but these Muslim events, like all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But it wasn't just Muslim people. Like Joy Reid, she's a famous journalist from MSNBC. She was there. She was speaking on a panel. Um, who else? His name is Kumal Bell or Kamu Bell. He's on CNN. But he was there, and then I met this guy. What is his name? Jay Ellis. He's on
Mm-hmm.
Insecure. Do you know who that is? The guy she was dating on Insecure. He was also in the game. He played Blue.
If I had a picture, I probably would recognize because
Yeah,
there's shows that I've watched.
yeah. So he's the main guy that she dated on there. He's very tall, and so I was just walking with my friend, and I saw him, and I'm like, "Hey, that's him." And he was talking to us. He was very nice. I saw Bowen Yang from SNL, and just walking down the street. So it was fun. A lot of people were there. I saw like on TV. I didn't see them in person, but Jennifer Lopez was there, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and they were surrounded by security. Like you cannot touch them. You can't talk to them. They're so important. And then I just learned yesterday, Robert Redford. He passed away. He's a famous actor. He started the Sundance Film Festival in Utah. Yeah,
Wow.
and he just passed away in Utah. He had a house there and everything. But he was just really interested in independent movies and not having so much like he felt like as an actor because he was good looking and they always wanted him to be a lead actor, but he wanted to have more roles like a villain or this and that, and people get kind of pigeonholed. It's like for the most part, you don't see like Brad Pitt playing the bad guy. So
Right, right.
Robert Redford wanted to start this film festival to show more independent projects, and he said then media people started coming, and he said fashion people started getting interested in it, and he was like he didn't even ask for these people to come, they just did, and then it made the festival more popular and everything. But I just saw that yesterday. I was like, wow, that's very interesting, to learn the history of that. But yeah, I mean, I guess anybody could go. I recommend going to the Muslim house. Oh, let me tell you one thing. So it's free to get in. Also, they had food. They were just providing us free food all day. Like they had breakfast, a buffet, turkey bacon, eggs, waffles, croissants, all these things. And they had meatballs and all this stuff. And everybody's like, is this halal? Is this the veal? I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, but it was funny, Muslim people. They're very funny. Uh, but it was also cool to see people in Hollywood who were like working for studios, working for Sony or NBC or CBS or whatever. A lot of Desi people, a lot of Muslim people, a lot of South Asian people. So yeah, you can definitely,
Wow.
yeah.
That is really cool. That's really cool. So I guess I won't take too much. We'll kind of stop at the 30-minute mark. So we are approaching that shortly. Do you have any final words of advice, inspiration, or motivation? Because I see that, you're doing really well. You're looking great. No, okay, no, she's saying no. You look very cheerful and
Oh my gosh.
upbeat.
Okay, so I just got diagnosed. No, I took a sleep test and got they say I have sleep apnea. And I say they say that because I feel like they say that to everybody. Like if you did a sleep test, I bet you have sleep apnea.
Okay,
Everybody
okay,
has it,
okay.
right? Uh, do you snore?
I don't think so, but
No one
uh,
ever tells you. Like, do you
I
have the
mean,
mouth?
maybe just slightly. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit probably.
Um, I don't snore, but like I'll like sometimes I like have to like catch my breath and stuff, and I can't like lay completely flat, or I'll like choke and have to like. So I have to have like my pillows kind of raised. Anyway, so they said I had a mild case, so now I have this mask. What was my point? Right. So I was telling a person I know, a friend of mine in Florida, I was like, oh, I have sleep apnea. I wake up like two or three times a night, and I don't get a full night of sleep. And she said, oh, really? I would have thought you slept like a baby. She's like, you seem so chill. And I'm like, wow, okay. So this is what like people can seem happy and cheerful and that they sleep like a baby. In quotes, I don't sleep like a baby. I actually am very, very sensitive. There was I kid you not, I was asleep and I woke up because there was a cricket crawling in my room. And just the sound of that woke me up. My brother could sleep through a storm, through a train, through people yelling, and I'm like that. I hear something and it wakes me up. So now I cannot sleep through the night. Now I have this machine, and the breathing in the machine is keeping me awake. The sound of myself breathing.
No, oh no, Halima.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, thank you for sharing all this and being vulnerable and
it's hard.
letting us be present as who we are at this moment and this day. Like, I was honest with you before the camera started rolling and I was telling you, it's been hard to post.
Yeah.
Now that we've accomplished our 1,000 mark, I'm like, okay, well, what now? What's next? Are we shooting for a million?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I started listening to this podcast. Um, it's a anyway. He's this comedian dude, bro, and he's real. Like, he's from Louisiana. Real like, typical like people a redneck kind of guy. But I started noticing that he does 2 episodes a week, like 2 hour long conversations.
Oh,
And I'm really proud of this guy because that's like hard. And I'm like, that's real content right there. Not once a week, not once, a month. Some people do 2 times a week, full episodes. So I'm like, wow, I listened to half of one and I was like, woo, this has been a lot. But it's literally just talking. I don't know. Yeah, I really liked doing my show during the pandemic because everybody was trapped at home. And I feel like everybody's busy. I'm not busy. I'm like doom scrolling on X all day.
well, will you come back? But you said, oh, at least we'll do us like before the
Yeah.
year, ends, right?
I
Like, but what about some of the old folks? Will they come back?
I don't know because well the thing is I had a friend, Kawasi, as you saw.
Well, see, I was just about to mention him because that was the episode that came on my feed, and
Yeah,
I put it back on replay, and I looked at what I commented back then, and I wanted to leave another comment saying,
yeah,
please come back because you guys are just such an honest bunch, and that is just so uplifting, so vulnerable. And it was such a good video because you dropped a lot of gems about not just money and like energy and manifestation, but like just wanting joy. Just like I think you were listening to somebody at that time who just wanted you to feel joy and happy, and you had
yeah.
mentioned that.
I listen to motivational videos on YouTube every day.
Right. And I was like, I really like revisiting y'all's conversation. I feel like it kind of helps me to keep going, to see like, hey, look how far they've come from where they began and how, even though they've been through so much, they're still, moving right along. And I just really appreciate the both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know if you could lock something in with him before the year ends or maybe next year. Next year, who knows, you
Yeah,
know?
I told him when we did that, I was like, oh, let's get back in December or blah blah blah. The problem with me is like I've been trying to book a commercial or something or do a short film all like since January, so it's like nine
Okay,
months now, and I haven't. So I'm like,
okay.
I get like, ugh, I don't want to get on and do an interview, and then what am I gonna say? Like, oh yeah, what are you doing? Nothing. What do
And
you?
that's why when this before this video began and even as it was going on, I was pretty big on, we're not exactly talking about, hey, what projects have you been doing? What have you accomplished this year?
Yeah,
It was more about how do you feel this year? How do you want to feel when the year ends? And then, how do you hope that the next year begins? Because, I mean, we're so goal oriented and obsessed in our world. Like, I mean, I know a lot of talk shows, whenever they bring on people, they're like on to promote their current project or X, Y, and Z, what I've done, what I've accomplished. Look at all my portfolio. But we're here for something more deeper, more long lasting. Like it's not just about what you do, and there's more to you, who you are, than what you do and what you accomplish.
Amen to that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why we didn't do the whole Halima, the
what are you
X,
doing
Y,
next?
and Z, you know? We were just like, Halima, my friend, is who is on this channel today, you know?
And sometimes she works and sometimes she doesn't. No, like as far as my law job, I have temporary projects and it's doc review and they'll be 2 weeks or they'll be 3 months. So I saw some this week where like they were 2 to 3 months and they'll offer you jobs and you can say yes or no. And so I was like, I don't really want to commit. I am constantly wanting to do different things. Like I can do a job for 2 or 3 weeks, but then I'm like, it's not even about being bored. It's just really like I cannot do this anymore. You know, it's just the whole office thing. I mean, I know you work in an office, you like
Yeah,
what
no, she stays employed, she pays her bills, she is making good money when she wants to, you know? She does not play when it comes to her finances.
amen to that. Yeah, I'm just like, if I didn't need money, I wouldn't work at the job that I do. I mean, I would make movies. I would write stuff for myself. I would film it. That's been one difficult thing because I do write and act, but it's finding other people and it costs money. It costs money to put together a
To
film.
fund these projects, to do these
Yeah,
projects, you need money to, people are taking time out of their busy schedules to meet
exactly.
you where you are, or you're going to them, it all requires gas, cars, this
Yeah.
and that, transportation. It's expensive.
So I guess since it's September now, we got 3 months left. I would really like to film something new.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Because I have a full length feature that I've written. I have a short film that I wrote. I have a TV pilot that's set outside of Austin, and I would really love to do that in October, November. I would love to get on a Taylor Sheridan show since he's filming in Fort Worth and opening a television studio. Let's just,
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, girl, say it out loud.
yeah.
Say it louder.
He has Yellowstone, 1923, 1883, The Lioness, Tulsa Kings,
She's done her research, y'all.
and I'm
She
like, and
is,
he lives outside of Fort Worth, and this man has like 11 TV shows on TV. So Taylor Sheridan,
if
I
you're
will.
watching this,
Anybody know Taylor, or I will be in the background. I will drink a coffee and a scene. I would love to be a part of anything like that because just being on set for me is just I love it.
just
It's,
riveting. It's just like you're really, truly living, you know?
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, I am always trying to do content. I had an idea for a show about a Muslim female influencer. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like a scripted show, but kind of like, The Office, where it's like they talk to the camera sometimes and it's like a
Oh,
mockumentary.
like kind of like reality TV show, but not really.
Exactly. So,
Oh
yeah,
my
if you want to
God.
help me with that, I am looking for content creators for my show, writers, consultants. And I think it's something that I could film on my phone and then do it like it's like a show, like it's a TikTok show, but it's, yeah,
So rated, she did a YouTube show, right?
yes,
Right. And then look at where she is today.
for sure. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were the one who told me about her and her journey, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like our time is coming, Halima. It is coming, girlfriend. We're gonna make it, girl.
And what about you? Are you interested in still being like the real or the talk,
You know,
the
yeah,
view?
yeah, I do love me some, Sherry Shepherd.
Oh yeah, I was excited. I mean, what happened with Wendy Williams was very disturbing. But then when I saw that Sherry got a show, I was excited. Like when she was filling in for Wendy, and then when she got her own show, I just for some reason I stopped watching it. I just like didn't have the time, or I was watching The View or something when it came on. But I was really excited initially. But good for her, the
Right,
way it happened.
right.
But are you
So
Shakira? Is that what we're gonna have? Like Jennifer Hudson?
hopefully,
Kelly
hopefully,
Clarkson?
inshallah, I mean, Sherry Shepherd talks about her journey, how she has gone through it all. And if you think about it, Halima, she's like in her 50s, so she's living the dream in her 50s. So I'm like, you know what? I'm 34. So I can hustle now and, network and keep on, doing what I'm doing and just put my name out there and then maybe someone with the camera will discover me and, you know,
Yeah.
give me the mic for once, so the dream is still there, the desire is still there, like I watch what Sherry Shepherd does and how beautifully she does it and how happy and how grateful she is,
Yeah.
and so I was like, wow, just keep on networking and telling people about your dream and keep, I don't know, like I interviewed, quite a handful of people throughout this year, and everyone is just like, keep interviewing, just keep posting, and you never know who will catch it and who will see something in you. And before they do, you have to keep pouring into yourself. Like, of there was this networking event that I went to this year where they were recording people. They gave everybody a mic and they would ask them a question and they would record them and you just had to sign up and they would give you your clip. So I was so excited to, hold a microphone and, I had just come from work, so, I didn't have any glam. I just had my glasses and my regular work outfit, but I was so excited. I interviewed a friend. I posted that on my LinkedIn and I got a lot of positive, feedback on that. And I posted it on my shorts and even on my YouTube because it was like a professional camera and mic and a background and everything. So I was like, just keep going to events and just keep growing. Like, as much as you're tired from work and you just want to go home, but I was like, everybody is out here chasing a dream, so it was cool to just keep going to events and just, hey, here's my YouTube, subscribe, and if you'd like to be on, I would love to interview you and get to know, your story, your journey, because you know what, like I really found this conversation very inspiring,
Hmm.
like I kept on wanting you to give me some motivation, inspiring and like inspiration and some ideas. And I feel like we're both exchanging, our dreams and our goals.
Yeah. Um, so, oh, that does make me think about something. I last year I was obsessed with like motivational speakers, Matthew McConaughey and Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mega famous. But there, he works with someone named Dean Graciosi, who I hadn't heard of, but he's also in the motivational space, as they say. And he says he gets paid like $250,000 like to talk to people or yeah like one-on-one coaching sessions. That's how much he gets an hour. It's like wild. But anyway, so he does these motivational videos every Monday on their Facebook, and I was watching him. And then they did an event. It was like 3 hours. I was like, had it on a screen while I was working. I had it on a video and I was watching it. Matthew McConaughey was on it. It was so amazing. And it was just, this idea of just just I took a bunch of notes, and I usually don't take notes, but I wrote down all these things. Matthew McConaughey is amazing. Like, he's so wise in a way that it's not like somebody taught him or whatever. It's kind of like his spirit. It's very amazing, and it's also cool to me that he's an actor and he won an Oscar and all that. But he was telling this story about how he went to Mexico and he went to a monastery and he was walking with a monk. I was like, oh my God, now I want to go like live with a monk. Like, I want to go live with nuns, I think, for like months. Just like no TV, no computer, nothing. Just live with people, commune with spirituality. But he said that he was walking with this guy for a really long time. And it was when he had just gotten famous. And, he did that movie with J-Lo and all that, those rom-coms he used to do, and he was getting so much attention, and he said he was doing bad things he wasn't proud of, and he was telling this guy, like, pouring out all this stuff, and he said the guy wasn't saying anything. He was just going on and on and on, like confessing. And he said at the end of it, he's like crying and he's talking to the guy. And then he stops and the guy says, "Me too." Yeah. And he was like, just this idea that it's not just you. Other people feel the same way. Other people have made mistakes or feeling like they're not accomplishing enough or they're not um, religious enough or practicing enough or all these things that you think it's you. There's other people who feel the same way. And then he said, like, that's all the monk said, just me too. And that was just feeling like you're not alone. So that was one thing. And then there's this woman who had this female empowerment uh, virtual event, and it was also free, and it was like 2 hours, and it was women from all over the world. At first, I mean, honestly, I get these links for things, and I think, oh, is this a scam? Like, I don't want to click on it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna click on it, and if it seems shady, I'll just jump back out. Like, I wasn't even sure what room it was gonna be in. It was online, but it was on Zoom, so I felt like okay. But then as it started showing like 1,000 people were watching, 10,000 people, whatever. And then we actually broke out into rooms and it was like me and 4 other women. And we were just supposed to look at each other and say like you're wearing glasses, you have on a scarf. Like it was just simple things like, you know, like I'm doing with you.
Mhm.
But it was just seeing someone and having them see you. And the other woman, like one was from Germany, and one woman, she like had dark hair. She was so pretty. She was just like, oh, I didn't want to turn on my camera. I didn't want people to see me today because I'm not really wearing makeup. I was like, okay. Like this woman was thin and beautiful. Seriously, I couldn't imagine that she would have a problem with the way she looked. But she was just like, oh, I just feel so uncomfortable. And I'm like, what? And then this other girl was like, oh, I feel like I don't express myself well. And I say, oh, I'm a lot. And she was really young. And I was like, wow, these are real people. Like, there's 8
Yeah.
billion of us. And I would never meet these people or know these people. And we're just sitting here. And it was all women. And one of the things she said, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to, she said, I'll just quote her, say, you have to be a greedy bitch. Like, you have to take stuff for yourself before you can give it to other people. And it's not easy because we're taught, especially as like religious people, that, oh, you just want to be self-sacrificing and you just want to give and give and give, and you don't really want to promote yourself because you don't want to show pride and you don't want to do this and all that. So it is difficult to be in a industry of people seeing you and wanting to be seen. And I want to act, not because I want people to be like, oh, she's so great, she's so pretty, because I love the creativity. I love being someone else. I love doing the work. It's not about pride. It's not about vanity or anything like that. But it's hard. It's hard to like get headshots. It's hard to, you know, send your little bio and be like, oh, I accomplished this. Oh, I got this, because it just seems like, oh, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to be boastful. So, yeah. I
I
just,
love it, Halima. I love it. Oh, looks like we are reaching the 45-minute mark. I mean, we can talk for hours. I mean, you and I, we go way back. We have, amazing conversations, and I always look forward to chatting with you, and I look forward to catching up with you as well, and then being a guest on your platform and, discussing similar ideas or more. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And for those of us who were listening to the whole thing, please drop us a like and drop us
you
a
know what?
comment below.
I would
Mhm.
like some of your viewers to weigh in and say, should we start a podcast? You know, everyone's doing podcasts. It's a great way to get some revenue, get some ad space going. So
Right, right.
why
This
not?
that's a great question. Like, please let us know down
What would be a
below,
great topic? Because for me, I love TV, I love music, I love movies, everything, politics. But I'm like, what is it? There seems like there's a million podcasts, you know, and they're about
Right,
everything. But
right.
yeah, what would be something new and different that we could do?
Right. I welcome it. I do have, a modest following and they do comment. I get my, one or two people who are regular who will come back and comment and, be very specific in their comments. So, yeah, let's wait for them and, we'll share this with our friends and, I always comment on my own videos. You can comment too, Halima. And you do. I remember when I was doing the dating myself series, you were commenting on
Oh,
that
I
a
love
lot, and
that.
yeah, that was very sweet of you. I was like, hey, it was out of the blue, and I got a lot of great comments on that. I mean, maybe it was two or three, but it was still people who I, didn't know were watching, and it was good to know that, hey, there are friends of mine who are watching, who are rooting for me, who are, wanting me to do well and succeed. So, it's a good place to be because it's very supportive,
Mhm.
and it's just about just just putting it out there, just putting out your stuff, your content, and just being consistent, and hopefully it'll take you to your destination and your goal.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
will. It definitely will.
yes, girl. Yes, girl. I am so excited we had this conversation. I will hit the end recording button in the next few seconds, and then we'll chat a little bit more as it's uploading and stuff like that,
Okay.
okay? Alrighty, well, everyone, thank you so much once again, and thank you, Halima. And we will catch you on catching up with Halima then.
Thank
We
you. Thanks
we
for
will
having
definitely I definitely will leave the link to your channel, the link to
me.
your, and then hopefully the videos that we talked about as well too. I'll put that description together. It doesn't take much time. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. So my followers can come visit your channel and hopefully you can grow as well.
All right. Thanks. Stay
Alrighty.
tuned.
Bye.
Bye.